Substance to his bone, it's shorter, it's thicker, it's heavier. When you turn this buck over, his back legs, you see how long the back legs are? Back feet, you get this guy turned over, it's shorter, this is wide, heavy. So those are things you compare. Then you start looking at these manes. He's got a little bit on the underside, not quite as dense, not quite as full, but he's very void along the sides, not full and dense throughout the sides. You get this guy up, it comes all the way around. You know, it's a full underside and the sides, they're dense and thick, even. So, a couple differences on those. This is youth.
Have a great raffle down there.
Some of these guys are new and they want to feel, like, be able to feel that density.
Yeah, you know, if you feel this rabbit right here, you're not going to hurt it. Just get under here and feel the mane. You can feel how thick it is. You can feel the thickness of that mane.
Move in and do this.
Feel the difference in the density?
You can feel the thickness, and I mean that's when you're checking for the density on these things, you're just feeling the overall amount of wool they have under there. This chestnut's got a super dense mane. It's nice and full. You can touch that. I've got a pile of lionheads here. So you can see the difference.
A few more if we don't watch it.
And the thickness of those manes.
Have dense and not have length as well.
You can have some that are short and very full.
Very full.
I mean, if you took this right here and all this was gone, this top part is going to be very thick. But that could be as long as it is, you know. So I mean, this has the length and density to it.
This one, she has short, she has dense but short.
Yeah, this doe, right along the base, she's pretty dense and thick, but she doesn't have the length of the mane. You know, it's short. You know, so she's nice and dense. You can feel it, but it's not quite as long. She has decent length along her sides, but it's not as even. You know, you want these manes to be full and full. This is the youth doe, is that right? Little youth buck. He's not bad. If you look at his side profile, same thing. He peeks a little forward and he squares over the top instead of round. You get him right here.
I work a lot of youth programs, so I'm trying to learn stuff. It's just my reach, I do not know that way.
Well, this was our point in doing this, so people can learn.
You can see the side profile of this animal. Come stand on the side and look. You can see side profile on top. Round in body.
Okay, right, that's fine.
So you get this buck right here. So you peek right in front of the back and slides off. He doesn't have the roundness. But if you look at his main piece, he is dense. He's got a nice full mane on the underside. For a senior animal, he's got pretty good fullness to him. You know, he's a little bit longer again. Feel his front leg. He doesn't have the bone of that little buck. Feel his front leg. Feel the thickness of it. See, it's a little bit longer in the front leg. He got a little torque buck. Feel his front legs. Heavier front legs, shorter.
Is this one that has a lot of bone?
That's better bone.
Is there any that don't have any good bone that I can see?
This doe right here, this is the short senior doe. Here, feel this doe's legs. Feel her front legs out. They're more refined. They don't have the thickness. We had what was that?
This was a chestnut doe. She was an example I brought.
Feel her front legs. Short, they're not quite as heavy.
Yeah.
If you look at this doe's mane, you can see she's pretty short on the mane. And a lot of that associates with the bone they have. You see these animals with heavier bone, they have more fullness to their mane. Many of the animals that are heavier bone animals carry more density of coat. But this rabbit, and if you look at if you look at this animal, she's finer bone, and she doesn't have the width of body. If you feel her body width, feel her body width.
She's narrow.
Her body is fine in bone. She doesn't have the width of body. Cave throughout the loin. She doesn't have the fullness to her hind quarter. One thing too, when you turn her over, that finer bone doe, her back feet almost touch. So they, you know, she's really pinched in her lower hindquarter. Then when you turn her over, those back feet almost touch each other. Ideally, you want these things to be wide and straight. You want to be parallel, wide and straight.
Like equal marks.
She won't make a good groove damage.
Here's a better. Yeah, it still could be wider, straighter, but he still gets better structural back legs than that little chestnut though. What we got here?
I was wondering about the sable point.
Sable points? You have a blue point up here too?
Blue points are babies, but you're more than welcome to use them.
Yep.
They're just now starting to clear. And they are a little nasty.
See, they have blue-gray eyes. Blue points do. There's a difference in their color. They should have more sepia markings instead of dilute. In this building, it's hard to see with its eye color, but they're a brown color. And where are they at right now in the process?
Sable points passed. Or no, they just restarted.
They had to
restart.
restart.
Yeah, they just restarted.
Yep.
None of the other points.
Siamese sable passed.
Everybody knows Siamese sable will be shown now.
Yep.
As of December.
I love they're getting it out there so fast. We get it in there early.
Well, with the you know, new technology and everything, I mean, if it passes, it can be emailed immediately. And included in that next DR.
Right.
You know, and that's all it says. So it gives people the advantage to, you know, to show these animals sooner.
Right.
Yeah.
And everybody worked hard on them. They're excited to show them. So why not get them out and be shown? I mean,
Now,
promote these varieties and breeds that people work on.
Is there ever, when, like, for instance, the tort, all 4 torts are accepted,
Right.
correct?
Correct.
Right.
Could someone file the points the same way, the 4-point colors?
It all goes by the group. There's certain colors that are grouped together. So I think with those sable points, I'd have to look, but the torts are all 4. You
Yeah.
know, I think the sable points problem they ran into is it's an individual variety, is what they call
Yeah.
it, and not a grouping. So
Yeah,
that's
because
something at this time.
they pulled the sable point and black has one, and they pulled smoke pearl
And blue.
and blue.
Right.
Because they're getting so many blues in their black litters that they decided they might as well pull one on that too.
The dilute
There you go.
is
We can't have 3 rabbits in one hole.
I got dilute everywhere.
You know, this is one that's got a lot of extra wool around the face, a lot of extra wool at the base. One thing too, a lot of these color rabbits, make sure, there's quite a few of them that do have scattered white hairs, you know, and whether it's genetic or litters being chewed on, they'll
She's a
come back.
senior.
Yeah.
She's had probably 4 litters.
Yeah,
so.
and that's pretty common to come back. So make certain these solid color animals have scattered white hairs.
Okay, did we ask him to talk about the actual grooming as opposed to...
No, we haven't asked them yet.
Because there's a lot of people that don't know the difference between dead hair. When you groom a rabbit, especially in the brakes and back here in the saddle area...
And the face.
Some people have, unfortunately, some people have been told that they're not supposed to groom this hair out that's dead like that just comes out easily. That's
Right.
dead hair.
There's...
Yeah, there's a difference. You know, if you're grooming and hair's coming out while you're going over and grooming your animal with your brush, even, you know, with water on your hand, and you're getting the loose hairs out. You know, you're working a coat and getting the loose hairs out. That right there is dead. That right there. That can
Okay, see what you're doing with your fingers? There's a group of people who anytime they see someone doing that, you're plucking.
I mean, if you
And
have-
we're trying to convince them this isn't
right
plucking.
Here, yeah, if you have right here this hair that's dead,
Yeah, dead hair.
this hair right here is not coming out.
Right.
Now, if I was pulling this hair out,
That's
and
plucking.
That's one thing, plucking that hair out. But if you're going through and there's loose hairs on these things, that's not plucking it out. Plucking an animal is where you have solid sides, and you're pulling the hair out,
And there's a ball,
pulling
and you're
the
leaving
hair
the ball
out,
spot.
and leaving it out.
Yes.
That's plucking. That's a difference. There's a difference between grooming and plucking.
Thank you.
There is, I mean, with any breed of rabbit, mini recs, you can have animals that are almost finished in coat and then have just little small little tufts you get your hand, you work the water out, you get those loose hairs out. Now, if there was a colored spot and you're pulling that spot out, that's a difference.
Right.
You know, that's plucking. That's not grooming the animal.
Right.
Any of these animals. I mean, but a good way. I mean, if you get your hand just damp and wipe over their coats right back here, anything that's loose is going to come up.
Right.
You know, you're going to be able to get that off.
Right.
So I have a question. It's maybe a dumb question. But say for example, I don't know if this rabbit has a dog. I mean he doesn't. But sometimes they'll have like a new coat growing underneath, but the dead hair will still be sitting on top. Is it still plucking to pull the dead bit?
If it's coming out,
underneath?
if it's coming out and you're able to easily get it,
Yeah.
but if you're saying, okay, there's some new hair coming in here, so I'm going to start plucking this out, pulling this out, there's a difference. You know, huge difference. The Angora breeds, everything else. When they're blowing those animals, they're keeping that undercoat fresh and clean, and all the hair, loose hair, dead hair, that's what's coming out. You know, they're, well, exactly. So you're blowing, you're keeping that undercoat clean, and any loose hairs are coming out. Now, if there is
another thing we've been talking about too is we wonder if it would be a good idea for us to start blowing our rabbits.
probably not a bad idea. You know, I think also it can help keep all this stuff clean. Anything from matting up, keep everything clean at the base. Some of the big Jersey Willie breeders, you know, you'll go to shows and you'll see Willie breeders sitting there combing their animals out, brushing, but then you see others, you know, Brian Hartzell. You know, years ago, he'd come and he'd blow every animal out before he puts it on. Keeps those undercoats clean, free up any loose hairs. You know, it's probably not a bad idea. You know, you see that. I think it would be of a benefit to try it and see how it works. But these animals, these young animals that don't have a break, if you're creating a break, if you're creating that, that's plucking. These animals that naturally have it and they're starting to come and you're just grooming their coats. Here's another animal that's maybe not quite.
I've got this junior.
Okay, some of these right here, some of this wool over top, I mean that's coming out pretty easy. The loose hairs, you know, loose hairs are coming out that y'all can get water and work your hands, and you can see just loose hairs just coming out right here.
Yeah, where is she?
I think it's here.
Yeah, right over top,
MIA
coming
in
out.
her ear.
Now, if that was not a break right there, and you're pulling it.
Okay, go ahead.
That's not what we mean.
And now, would you consider this a break, the start of a break on that rabbit?
Start of one.
Okay,
It
start
still
of
could have a little. There's a couple juniors that questionably you could disqualify. They were so young that they still had wool over their back. They're starting to get a little mane, but they're just very young, immature animals. I gave them the benefit of the doubt. I think there was a young seal or two. Gave them the benefit, but technically they're supposed to have some type of break. They're supposed to have some cleanliness along their sides.
Okay, this was my question because I get handed rabbits all the time at shows with people asking me to show them how to groom them. Okay, where her break should be, from the shoulder of the front leg up over the top. Most of that, I would bet, is probably dead hair. It's not plucking to remove that, correct?
If it's dead.
If it's dead hair.
If it's dead and you're grooming it.
And there's living fur underneath.
But like right here, where it's still, you're pulling on, it's not coming out.
Right.
If you're plucking that out,
right,
that's plucking. You know, I mean, that you're pulling that hair out. Loose hair is going to just come out.
Right.
It's going to be easy to get out.
Right, because at the show at Canton, I wrote for basically all the lionhead classes. There were so many that were disqualified for basic grooming problems.
Right here. You see those hairs right here on top. Those are dead. Those are just coming right out. If my towel was wet and you had water, you'd wipe over that coat. You see the dead hairs right here. Those are just dead hairs coming out. That's basic grooming of a rabbit. You know, my mini recs, if I'm getting them ready to show, every day I get water on my hand and work the coats back and forth to get all the loose hairs out, get that undercoat clean, and get them, you know, that's basic grooming. Plucking a coat or trimming a coat is not grooming. But working the coat to get the dead hairs out, that's basic grooming. That's general rabbit care.
And that applies to the face wool that's dead too.
Yeah, I wouldn't go and pluck. I mean, anything that's loose, you know, like this rabbit right here. You go over and you groom its face right here. Nothing's coming out of the top of the head right there. That's still there. That's still there. If you wiped on it and it started blowing out, well, that's loose hair. You know, I think the biggest thing is just wipe on these animals, touch on these animals, and see what comes out. You know, get your hand wet, wipe over them. But if you're pulling that stuff out, you're getting a comb in there underneath.
Yeah, I have seen people doing that.
When you catch that comb and jerk, that's not grooming. That's plucking. That's trying to alter the appearance.
Now, would she be considered like a long?
She's longer body.
Long body.
Yep. You get her posed up. She's longer body.
So her peak is like about right here.
Yep.
So you want it to be a little bit farther back.
Over the hip. Over the center of the hip. So she's a little bit of a longer style animal. But then again, you got to keep some longer does to breed. You have babies. You get those little small, short, showy does. They may not be the best producers. You got to keep some
They
animals.
have showy does, and then you take them home and breed them, and then they lengthen. I mean, you know, it's just like humans. Whenever we have babies, we don't need to say.
Yeah, she's a little bit longer in body. And they'll change. You know, you may have a nice show rabbit. Like I said, once you show her, a lot of times we're done. You know, with my mini Rex. Once they hit 6.5, 7 months old, they bred, have babies. They may be 5.5 pounds.
I still have a beautiful coat, but they don't have the body.
So would she be considered dense in her mane, just short?
It's short. It's fairly dense. It could have more fullness on the underside of the mane. So just a little bit thin on the, or short on the underside of it.
Well, she's also regrowing that too because she had that injury on her neck.
Remember, she was so much.
Right, that's the thing too. Once they go through a molt, once they have babies, they pull the wool from their chest. Babies chew on them and stuff. You know, as far
Well,
as
and she
getting
had
it
an
back in.
injury right here that basically all the hair was gone
Right.
from that.
Yeah.
And two with the does.
She was a lot more cream colored on her back too.
This is the color she's supposed to be.
Yeah.
Yeah, this is the good Siamese sable color is this.
Oh yeah.
But you remember at the other show, she was like cream on the back and just was brown on the spot.
Yeah, but this is good Siamese sable color.
So what?
Yes, you are.
I'm really not sure. You know, I mean, you see a lot of the animals that went to the big shows. You know, I don't know if it's that or once they start breeding, they don't keep their coat. I don't know.
Like, you know, it could be a juvenile thing.
He's probably overweight.
He is.
He's probably overweight. You know, he's a little bit longer in his body. He's really wide. He's got a lot of width and fullness along his front, but he still needs to have just a little more at the base of his hindquarters. If you run your hands over him, you can see his hindquarters really caves in. He does have pretty good length on him, but it's not quite as dense on his neck. You know, it's a little thinner through his veins. He's just a long, big buck.
Just
45, 60, somebody can play. Red, Ford Explorer.
Yeah, but if you run your hands across him, he's really wide and full up front. He just doesn't have quite the fullness of the base. He's a big buck. You know, it depends on what you need in your herd. If you need, you know, if
He
you
carries
have,
his mate pretty good for his age.
yeah, if you
For a
have,
buck especially.
yeah, I mean, if you have a lot of does that need to have mass and size on them, so it's hard for somebody to say, yeah, keep that buck.
Yeah, he says, I like this one. I'll take this
Until,
girl.
you know, you see what you need in your herd. What you
No
need.
boobs. You can't have her.
That's the way we do it. We breed for
His name is Boobs.
That's what I do.
Yeah.
I mean, I know Maine counts.
She's got a lot of bone.
But Maine to me is kind of blunt.
Yeah, he's thick and wide.
Yeah,
Open
well,
French
his front
block.
legs compared to, I think that blue torque buck, he's shorter in the front leg, he's really
All
heavy.
the Courtney's
He's a big,
table.
heavy bone
Open
man.
French block.
So, whatever you need in your herd. And that's a huge challenge. People say, should I breed this rabbit? Well, I don't know what you have in your house or what you need in your herd or how your animals produce. Some things that people that I wouldn't need in my herd, you know,
I mean,
but
look
for
at his,
another person.
Look at the qualities that he has, good and bad, and look at against the does that you have and see what he has, and then go from
Now,
there.
would that be considered really big for a lionhead?
He's overweight. He's overweight, but he's still
Because I
fairly
see some of
balanced
these
in his
other ones
body.
that are like half the size, and it seems.
Yeah, he's still fairly balanced in his body. I mean, if you feel he doesn't have a great big spread through his midsection, you know, I mean, he's all balanced and tied in well.
Nice shoulder.
you know, that's the thing too. When you touch right into the midsection, there's not great big length of space there. He's fairly tied in and balanced through there, and he's just a big buck, you know.
His ears aren't like ridiculous for his size.
No, because they balance for the size rabbit he is. Where you going, boobs?
But some of these big rabbits, you see they have ears that are 4 inches long, and he's great big long body and great big long front legs. And, you know, it's hard to say exactly what you may have in the herd. My advice would be get some of the lionhead breeders who are local and that you work with, and spend a day going through your animals and seeing, you know, what qualities you need or don't need. Some of the strengths and weaknesses.
It's a puzzle. You have to figure out what do I need to add to this to get what I want from what I've got, and it's just putting them all together.
And so how do you tell the difference between like weak shoulders and
Feel that shoulder.
Feel his shoulders.
Big wide shoulder. Big wide shoulder. And to just make a comment about shoulder, it has good shoulders. You know, what's good about it? Are they wide? Are they deep? You know, if you say it has good ears, well, what's good about its ears? It has good set to its ears, it has good shape to its ears, it has good substance to the ears. So you have to be fairly descriptive on these things when you're talking about, oh, this rabbit has a good ear. Well, it has a good set to its ear. It could have just a little more substance to its ear. It could have just a little more roundness to its ear. You know what I mean? So being descriptive on it instead of just saying that's good or bad. Describe what you're saying. You know, yeah, this animal does have good depth and width of shoulders, nice full shoulders. You know, it's very good width to its midsection, but this hind quarter, it does need to have more width and fullness than hind quarter, roundness of waist.
Remember I told you about the sausage test, where they should be basically the same?
the same length all the way down?
Right. But that's one thing, you know, with evaluating your own herd. So to say, no, it's got good ears. Talk about what's good about it. Say, in my herd, I need to have ears that are a little more open at the top, more substance to it. Shorter, have better set to the ears. You know, some of those animals' ears lay back on their head.
The ideal lion head, you want a short, round, thick
Red,
that lays
blocking vehicles. You need to have somebody just kind of move it out of the way so we can get out.
This is a complete different style. This buck, he's short, he's very round, but he doesn't have quite the width and mass to his body. You know, he's a little finer boned, he's short and round, but if you have big does in your herd and you take bucks like this back to him, that could be the right, you know, combination for your herd. Looks good. You know,
Something about working with pieces.
all pieces. You know, a lot of these breeds, it's lots of pieces. You know, you have to put together. That's what some of these small breeds and breeds that have many different parts to them. You know, on these lionheads, you're looking at their body structure, you're looking at their head shape, the ear shape, and then you're also adding wool on part of the body to it. So I mean, it's a challenge, you know, to get all these pieces and to figure out how they all fit together. You know, that's what makes it fun and challenging, and what makes each of these breeds unique. You know, you see some people that say the commercial rabbits are so easy. You know, they're so plain and generic and easy, and that's completely not true. Because if you get down to the exact breeding of those things, to keep the turn over the top of the hip and that depth and fullness throughout the loin that carries the lower hind quarter, that keeps it hard and firm, that keeps the right coat length, all very similar. I mean, it goes back to, it may not be as extreme and as unique as an animal that has wool and fur on their body, but you start getting animals real heavy bones, longer coats, you start getting animals that are real slick coats, thinner density. They're getting refined, so they don't carry the loin. So each of these breeds are a super challenge to breed really good quality. You know, and it's all pieces. You know, you're going to give up here to get this. There's no perfect animal. So you have to just, it's a give and take on pieces and parts that you need to create the best package that you can, you know, create. Very good. Any other specific questions? Anything that... talk about any other specific questions or?
Well, Farrah and I were discussing the difference between seal and black, which we did kind of. She explained the pigmentation, which is what I expected, but that's really.
Sometimes it's hard on young animals that aren't finished in coat. Depends on the lighting. One or two of them, somebody asked me earlier, looking at black and in this lighting and stuff, it's hard to tell. You take them outside, you can tell better shading on them. You can tell if they have shading to them.
Yes.
Some animals, depending on what they're out of, always kind of have a little in between.
Exactly.
Bad black, not intense black color. So it just depends, on the animals.
And we had to actually use the flash on the camera to get the pigmentation.
Some of those are fairly difficult to tell. So a lot of it depends on the lighting and shower, and the maturity of if it's time of year, humidity burns and distorts the color.
Oh yeah.
So if they're kept outside or inside.
There's a lot of factors, involved in determining some of them. People say, "Yep, that's the right color, not the right color." It can be tough, especially if you don't know what they're out of, and the conditions, time of year, etc., how the animals are finished. It can be difficult.
You're welcome, Gary.
That seal black deal has been something that's been a challenge for many, many years in a variety of breeds.
Not just lionheads.
Well, until especially, they got to mature out in that coat some more. That's still a young baby coat. Even some of the blacks, if you look at your black litters at this age, you know that they're blacks. They have different color. They're not all even and intense. So then to go back and tell is it a seal or not, it can be different.
Sometimes the parentage can help.
Right, you know what they're out of and all that. But
still not done yet.
Yeah, there's no litter that you look at on your torts on any of your varieties at 8 weeks of age, and all of them are the exact same color and perfect color and finish. That's the part of the challenge as well, is producing the best type, the best mane, the best ears, and then conditioning that animal to have it exhibited at the time that it's at its peak.
Yeah.
So, that the color's in correctly and the coat's finished, and so that's what makes even an additional challenge on top of it. Putting all this stuff together and then conditioning it and showing it at the right time.
And with lionheads, for so long, we were more concerned with body type and wool and getting everything else together. Color was immaterial because we had so much other stuff to worry about that.
Right. I think the first Lionhead National I judged was their second national show. And there was probably 30 different colors we had.
Yep.
Everything. And everything was out of all these variety of colors, and blue-eyed whites, chestnuts. There's a variety of colors because they were working on getting type, getting, the structure. So they were, and it kind of blew my mind, why y'all working with so many different colors to do this? Why aren't you focused on your torts and ruby-eyed whites and black?
Torts were bred to sable points, and that was bred to a black, and that was bred to a roux. And I have people that will call me and they'll say, I bred 2 torts together, and I've got 6 different color babies in the rabbit. And it's like, welcome to lionheads. Seriously.
Yeah, but at that time they were focusing on. At that time, it was a single and double mane gene.
Yeah.
Had lots of single mane rabbits, seniors that had just a little bit of wool on them, maybe if you looked hard enough.
People that are just not getting into it, that are new to it now, probably never even seen a single mane.
Oh yeah, no. And that was many years ago, but that was the big thing then. Which ones are single and double manes? Which ones are, the type we need to work with and the color we need to work with. So they've made a huge advancement. They've moved forward. We see it as competitive animals. Like I said, there's some really good ones here today. There's some good breeding pieces across the country. We're seeing some pretty good animals. So I think the breed's moving forward.
I've heard from different judges that they're seeing a lot more uniformity across the country as they go.
Absolutely. They carry better bone. They carry better body type. I think possibly some of the folks that were in the beginning because they were new and wanted to have these new rabbits that they're selling and making money on and stuff, they've kind of gone away. I think once you saw the lionheads become a recognized breed, we saw a little decrease in the number immediately because people didn't show everything they had.
Right.
At the time, it was bring everything, we're going to show our rabbits. At that time, it became a recognized breed, became serious. Okay, we're going to show these torts and whites. Kind of got rid of some of the other stuff people were playing with. They had to get serious with that. And I see that the people, the serious breeders, are taking that a step further now and producing a little more consistency. And
Yeah.
so I think it's a good deal.
And I think moving our nationals around the country is helping too, because there's people now in other areas
Right.
who couldn't drive to Ohio every year that are
I
getting
think
a
in the
chance.
beginning, where it was in Ohio,
Yeah.
was a good thing.
Yeah.
You know, because at that time, real no nationally accepted club in the RBA and didn't have everything. It was just a
Yep.
group that was together. It's a good thing that they knew every year they're coming there to promote and support this breed.
Yep.
And now the recognized breed, absolutely. Moving around the country, all doing the right thing. You know.
Yeah, the Nationals this year was the biggest one we've had in several years.
Right.
You know, it was in Louisiana, and
Right.
it was great.
Yeah,
'Cause-
keep moving around the country, keep people interested. I mean, I think that's the key. Keep supporting the new varieties and varieties that are going to help the breed.
Yeah.
You know, just because something looks cute and everybody thinks it's nice, well, what's it going to do for the breed? You
Right.
know, is it something you're going to be able to work with and going to advance the breed, or is it going to be a variety that people are going to put a lot of hard work and time into?
Right.
That in 5 years it's going to be dropped from the standard because nobody raised them or they're not competitive. So I think that's a big thing, is to make certain that these varieties that are being worked on, what's it going to do for the breed? You know, how's it going to advance? So it's a good deal.
Well, I appreciate you taking your time to help us, sir.
No, I think this is great. I appreciate it. I'm glad to see that y'all are really working on.
Got your thank you card.
Oh, thank you. Thank you very much. That's very kind of
We
y'all.
appreciate it.
That's very kind.
Some little goodies inside there.
Thank you. I appreciate that very much. Let's get somebody to take a big group picture of all the lionhead folks and y'all post it on Facebook.
All right. Come on, lionhead people. Let's
All
get a
lionhead
picture.
folks.